Welcome to the Adeptia Process Designer demonstration. In this demo, we'll take an example of designing and automating a purchase order process flow using the Adeptia's Process Designer utility. After logging into the Adeptia BPM suite, users can go to Design, Process Flow, and click on the Process Flow link. The Process Flow Manage page will show you a list of all the processes that users have created within the group that they belong to. And this is a central repository for the business users to manage and update and even to create new business processes. So in this example, we'll automate a purchase order process. So we'll go to Process Flow Creation page, and we can give a name to this process. And as well as a description. And then click on the Process Flow Designer button. By clicking on the Process Designer button, the application will open up the Process Designer interface, as we can see here. And now let's get started in terms of designing the purchase order flow. The first activity is that we will receive a PO from the customer, and we'll simply describe that activity here. The next step is that we will send an acknowledgement back to the customer. So we'll use a different activity for this particular step and simply provide that description here. The third step could be to apply certain business rules on this data that we are receiving from the customer. And then for that particular case, we can use a gateway, as we're doing here, and this is where we will apply rules on the purchase order data. And there could be one of two different outcomes. One of the outcomes could be that the PO is rejected, and we'll send a rejection notification to the customer. Send notification to customer if PO is declined. And the other outcome could be that the PO meets all the business rules and we need to send the PO to the shipping department. And also to provide the shipping information to the customer. The next step is to connect all these activities together, as we're doing here using the sequence flow arrow. And we'll use a default sequence flow, which will be the default route that the process designer will take at runtime if all the conditions are met. And then we'll apply the rules on this particular sequence flow that is coming out of the gateway. And we'll simply double click on the sequence flow and then go to the edit condition, as we can see here, and then we'll use the expression condition, and we'll apply two rules. One of the rules would be on the quantity, and we can name this as quantity rule. And quantity would be one of the variables in the data that we are receiving from the customer, and then we can apply the rule on that field, as we're doing here. So we'll simply provide the variable name and then select the operator type, and in this case we'll select greater than equal to, and the condition here is that if the quantity is greater than 5,000, then we will simply decline this purchase order. So we'll simply apply this rule here, as we've done in this particular condition wizard. And then we can also apply another rule, and this could be on the amount or the price of the PO. And then you can also have a variable with that field name. And then if the price is greater than $8,000, then we can also decline this PO. So we can add as many rules using this condition wizard as we are showing you here. And these rules will be executed at runtime based on the data that we are receiving in that PO. And then depending on whether these rules are met, either it can take this route, which is to send the PO to the shipping, or it can take the other route, which is to decline this PO and then send a notification back to the customer. So this completes the design of this business process. As the business users have designed this process flow, the application automatically generates the code, as we can see here. In summary, the process designer allows business users to design and automate business processes very quickly, as we have seen in this example. It's very easy to manage business rules as well as to update business rules as the scenarios change. The process designer has a built-in process engine, and it can handle very sophisticated exception handling capability as well, and no coding is required in building these process flows. If you require an intensive demo of the Adeptia's Process Designer interface, please feel free to contact us at sales@adeptia.com. This concludes the demo. Thank you and goodbye.